Well. Hello there, Mr. Lamotou. Hey Slayers, I'm the world's coolest Sega enthusiast, Sega Slayer 64, and welcome to a special video for a certain someone out there. So, I was watching Lamotou's channel, right? I was watching his channel, and I noticed that he made his new, he made a Let's Play. He started his Let's Play of Sonic Adventure, right? But he immediately proceeded to criticize the game, okay? Criticize the game immensely about things that were his fault, okay? He said the game is extremely bad. He said, in my terms, essentially, he said the game sucks. The camera is slippery, which, I'm not the biggest fan of the camera. He said it's filled with glitches and that it's all around not a good game, and he can't understand why people like this game so much, right? And to that I say, every time he died in that video, every single time I saw him die or lose or something like that, it was all his fault, okay? All his fault. Every single piece of every single little death or a little glitch or something was all because of his doing and no one else's, okay? So, to prove him wrong, I have decided to beat every single Sonic Adventure level without any problems, okay? Now, what I'm recording right now is me playing in real time, so if you look on your screen, you'll notice that, hey, it is me actually playing this in real time. You see what I'm saying? Left, right. But everything up into the cut, okay, is going to be recorded footage, pre-recorded footage that I actually recorded earlier, and I am actually going to be voicing over. So this clip is actually separate from the clip you're going to be seeing for the rest of this video. But the thing is, okay, so I can tell you there's only a total of 5 deaths in this video, and I died 5 times because every time I died it was because of my wrongdoing, and I can tell, and I'm going to explain each death in detail. But in all, we actually come out and beat every stage in under an hour, which is actually really good. This video is actually going to be under an hour. It should be. Now I'm going to explain a few things real quick. Rules 1 is I have to beat every single stage within under an hour. You see what I'm saying? That will be done. You can time the video if you want to. The stages are all beat with under an hour. Second off, I was originally going to exclude Casinopolis, but I didn't do that because I actually ended up doing it because I realized that, hey, I better do it, and I can probably do it fast if I'm clean, if I know what I'm doing. I can probably do Casinopolis fast. So that's what we're gonna be doing here, and yeah. So the rules are, if I win, so once I beat every stage, right, and prove to Lamotou that it was just him, and that every failure and death was his wrongdoing, and that the game is good, you just gotta know what you're doing to get that perfect momentum, just like the classic games. He should admit on his video, right, on the next episode, that I was right and he was 100% wrong, okay? Because I know all these stages are extremely good. You just need to know what you're doing. He said, another thing he said was that the game is poorly designed and that Sega poorly designed this game. This game is a masterpiece when it comes to the way it's designed. Like I said, if they ever did return to the adventure style, I would prefer it to be in the style of Sonic Adventure 1 and not SA2, because SA2, man, is so bad. But SA1, classic, okay? Classic title, and like I said, if they returned to the adventure style and it was more in the style of SA1, then I wouldn't mind. But without further ado, because we're dragging on kind of long here, without further ado, let's go ahead and get right into the video. I'll see you then, Slayers. Okay, so here we are. We're directly in the video, where it's time to go. We're ready to get into this. So, yeah, Emerald Coast. We're gonna start off here in a second. There we go. I was waiting for it to start. It was taking a minute. Now, how it started here is my game was actually a little bit laggy at first, but it eventually got over it. But yeah, so essentially, I'm gonna tell you right now, Emerald Coast being the first stage is extremely easy. I had no problems here at all, unlike Lamotou. So if you see here, I think he glitched through and fell there. I didn't. Now my game was lagging whatever reason. It doesn't usually lag, but it was lagging today, so it only does it for the first half of Emerald Coast, then it just kind of stops. I don't know why it was doing that. I guess because it wasn't finished loading or whatever, or OBS was lagging, one of them. But it was lagging while I was actually playing the game. But yeah, see, he had a bunch of problems falling off here. No problems. You just have to know what you're doing. You see what I'm saying? And yeah, this video is kind of long, but hey, we actually get through everything we need to get through because I know what I'm doing. So you can see here, again, lag, but that was one during gameplay. But yeah, it goes away after a second, like I said. I think it was just loading up assets or whatever. Takes a little second, but there we go. I skipped the checkpoint because I was being a little arrogant, I'm not gonna lie, but it doesn't matter because nothing happened. I skipped a few checkpoints during this whole like playthrough. Now, fun fact, every time I would I said in the rules part of this video that I'm not going to be showing transitions, so that just means once I'm finished the stage, it's just gonna automatically cut to the next stage. Well, yeah, it worked for every other stage but Emerald Coast, so I had to actually go back and cut out me leaving Emerald Coast and going to Windy Valley, because you know that added a bunch of time onto this video. This video really is not. Like I said, look, you're seeing I'm having no problems, whereas he had a bunch of problems. Now, like I said, I'm gonna be fair to him and say, well, maybe his problems was attributed to the fact that he's playing on mobile. And for anyone who tries to throw out the argument that, well, Second Slayer, you're playing the DX version instead of the Dreamcast version. As a person who has played both of the versions and can play both versions, if that's what really must be done, I can tell you that the Dreamcast version actually fares better than the DX version itself. Also, you ever notice in the DX version, Sonic weirdly keeps his head turned to the right all the time? But yeah, Emerald Coast, as I said, breeze, nothing. In fact, I went into this extremely confident and arrogant, I can tell you. Now, also, I want to let you know something. Casinopolis, I was not originally going to do it, but halfway through the playthrough, I do all the stages in order, right? But Casinopolis, I end up doing Casinopolis later on because I originally was not going to do it, but I was like, you know what, let's go ahead and do it. So next up is Windy Valley here, and there's a death here. There's a death here, but it's at the very start, and it was by accident, my fault. See, right here. See, that death right there was my fault because I was going a little bit too fast. I speeded up and decided to go fast. That was not a problem of the game. Look, because I do it perfectly here. You can see I decided I was again being very arrogant and just wanted. I was at the time like, man, I could get through this really easily and really quickly. So I sped up, and that's where that happened, and that's how I ended up falling. But other than that, you can see I'm going through perfectly fine. He had problems on the wind part. I had no problems. He had problems on the trampoline. Again, no problems here. Another problem he had was trying to make it across this bridge, and that was just because he was too slow. And I'm not making a pun there. He was genuinely just too slow with it. I don't know why he went that slow. And yeah, the game lagged there. I saw it. It's fine. It was the game. DX is notorious for lag. He also had problems going up this tornado for whatever reason. It's like, dude, this is one of... In fact, I find this level actually a little bit more easy. I find this level easier than Emerald Coast itself, to be honest with you. And Emerald Coast is extremely easy. This is another, like, extremely easy because... He also complained about TWINKLE being here, but I'm pretty sure that was a joke, but I'm going to say something about it anyway. This is also supposed to be like a tutorial stage, so that's why TWINKLE is still here, but that was clearly a joke anyway. You don't even have to walk in there, you can just hop over. There you go. So out of the tornado, see, no problem at all. Go compare how I'm playing to how he was playing, and man... I do understand where his complaints were coming from, but they were all non-valid since they were him. Since, like here, he had problems running down the rails, right? Look, no problems at all. You can easily keep a great speed going on this as long as you know what you're doing. And obviously, like I said, the momentum here is very easy to build up. Once you get momentum build up in Sonic Adventure, it's so fun just to run down the hills. Like, Sonic Adventure is one of those games, right, that's extremely fun that I could just sit here and play I can replay these levels all day long. Like, dude, I have the urge, like I said, I always just have the urge to play Sonic Adventure because it's so fun and how it works. And, you know, I'm sitting here right now voicing this over, and I still need to play it again, so I'm probably going to play again as soon as I get done with this. He had problems with the spring, but that was because he was moving too fast. You shouldn't really move in the air. You're best off just to fall, and you'll have no problems here. So, Yeah, you run down here. He had problems trying to get over there, and a lot of problems in the video. But like I said, no problem at all. Like, look, he had problems with Sonic going off to the side. You just have to control it properly, and you'll have no problem. And yeah, I do slam in the walls, but that will happen. But it's not a huge momentum killer. Also, he had a problem here, and he said he fell off, but no, it's actually a sequence. See, he didn't have enough momentum and speed going up that, so that's why this whole area seemed kind of glitched for him. But it wasn't glitched. He just did not have enough speed going up the cinematic sequence, I guess you could say. And there's Winnie Valley. So here we cut to Ice Cap. And like I said, I did skip Casinopolis, but we'll do it later on. Okay. So yeah, I skipped it because at the time I was like, okay, this is gonna take too long. It doesn't take too long. I can actually squeeze it in just fine. And I mean, the time constraint of this video doesn't really matter in the first place. It's not really relevant, to be honest with you. What's relevant is that I want to prove that all these stages are beatable very easily with minimal problems and can be extremely fun, and that Sonic Adventure is not a bad game. At least from gameplay standards, that's what he's talking about. I think Sonic Adventure is a good game all around, but he was really doing a number on the gameplay, and I was kind of getting a little upset because I'm like, okay, that's being completely fair. All these problems and mistakes that were being made were of his own doing, and I'm like, okay, well, I'll do this. And if it was all a joke, I understand, and your opinion is your opinion, but I just wanted to make this video here to prove that no, Sonic Adventure is not a bad game. Like I said, well, if you want to think the story is bad, sure, but gameplay wise, no, the gameplay is not bad in Sonic Adventure. You just need to know what you're doing. It's perfect gameplay, and personally, I find it all perfect. And yeah, I did fall off an iceberg there, but again, my own doing, because I wasn't centered enough to be, it's not like these are impossible to hit or anything. They're very easy to hit. You can just combo along them all. I was just off center with that one right here. And actually, you see that bridge? You're supposed to go slow across that. Well, run, because it can fall. But I actually just spin dashed and I made it, and I always fall, and I was surprised, but I had to keep going here. Number pads, you see what I'm saying? You don't have to do those slow. I saw he was doing those like very slow in the video, and you don't have to do those slow at all. You just spam A and you'll be fine. Here we go. Well, here we go, snowboarding section. Now this is another case of it. I thought this was gonna slow me down because this is an automated section here, so I have no control over how fast this goes. And again, it's a fun section. It's very easy, not hard at all. So I can't see why he would have complaints with this unless his controller sends him all. And keep in mind, real quick, let's keep this in mind. I was playing with an Xbox One controller, okay, a Minecraft Creeper Xbox One controller. It's an official controller by Microsoft themselves. I paid a lot of money for this controller. No, genuinely, I paid a lot of money for the Minecraft Creeper controller because it's actually pretty rare. So to get my hands on it, I had to pay a lot of money from freaking GameStop themselves. But that is besides the point. We're here to prove that the game itself is good, and it's not the gameplay. You can get through these stages relatively easily with no problems. Like glitches, sure, they're here, but they're very hard to find. Now, like I said, if you notice all the glitches where he fell through things and stuff in his video, lots of them come from him skipping cinematic sections. So if there's like a ramp and there's a boost pad in front of it, you can't just go on the ramp without the boost pad. You need it because it's a cinematic section. That's most Sonic games nowadays, dude. So it was not the game's fault because you were not supposed to skip the boost pad, and most people know not to skip the boost pad. Like, why in what world would you ever skip the boost pad without enough momentum? Even the old Sonic games knew that. Like, you need the you need those boost pads in certain areas because you need momentum that you might not automatically have right off the bat to go up the ramp in a cinematic section. Like I said, Sonic Adventure is another Sonic Adventure, unlike later Sonic games. In fact, if you ask me what was the most 3D Sonic game that plays the most similar to classic Sonic games, like if you were gonna ask what is a Sonic game that's 3D but plays like a classic Sonic game, the closest you are going to get, and the closest I think we've ever gotten, was SA1. Now when he goes down here, originally it'll be a Chaos Emerald, but here also we're just counting this because I accidentally went into Twinkle Circuit here, and that was an accident. I only went into Twinkle Circuit because I thought Twinkle Circuit was a part. I always forget that you don't go into Twinkle Circuit because at at the beginning of Sonic's Twinkle Park, he does go in the go-karts, but you have to go in the Twinkle Park for that to happen. You see, if you see here, you see, Twinkle Circuit is a mini game that you can play. It's just a race course. But at the beginning of Sonic's Twinkle Park, he goes in the Twinkle Circuit anyway. And so I thought, I did think that that's what you had to do. I always think that, and then I always remember, no, it's wrong. And I was backwards here. Now, I'm going to be fair here and say this go-kart section is very hard to control at first. But once you get your speed going, it's very easy. Now, there is a death here. So if you're keeping track here, the death that'll be here will be the second death in the entire game. And now the go-kart section here, I'm not a big fan of. I mean, it's fun. It's a fun party little section, but yeah, you can complain about this. Like, see, hitting the wall and all that. It is a little stiff to control the go-kart, and that is a valid, fair point. If when you get here, you do say that, hey, the go-kart section is a very hard to control and stiff. Well, yeah, that is true, and that is a valid point, but it's nowhere near in most of the game. Like, you get this one section of the game and then you're done. And I do have a death coming up here, but it is of my personal doing, and that's why I do end up dying. It is of my personal doing here. And so yeah, there is a death. Also, ignore the little thing down in the corner down there, because that is actually something on my PC that allows me to control the speed of my fans on my PC, and I love it. But I actually meant to close it out. See, here's where I died because I went off the side. I was being, you know, kind of hasty, I guess you could say, and I automatically turned off to the side. I guess that's how you would say it, kind of hasty. I was being a little bit hasty. Now, I always try to go for the orange cart, but because that is my favorite, but I ended up getting like the cyan cart, and you know, it really doesn't matter. I wanted the blue orange cart, but I wasn't gonna. At this point, I had already died and had to restart the course. I'm like, okay, we're gonna save ourselves time here. Just screw the orange cart. I want it, but it's not worth it. It's not even like it's gonna last me long anyway. Yeah, these guys are on the track. They can hit you. No big deal. Like I said, the rest of Twinkle Park after this is no big deal. I don't think there's any more deaths in Twinkle Park. I can say I know I counted out as I was doing this because I did this all in real time. But like I said, I paused whenever I would finish a stage and go to another stage. Yeah, I noticed that this section right here, this little section right here, is kind of tough to get past. I mean, like I said, it's a little stiff. But I noticed that I was trying to find all best ways I can to save time in this, and if I could have skipped Twinkle Circuit, I would have in general, but it's really not that big of a deal. Just hold forward, hold A and go forward, and you'll be fine, essentially. You'll have no problems getting through this. It's very easy. And see, when you get to the cinematic parts, just don't mess with the analog stick and you'll be fine, because I did it and you can see what happened. But no, as I was going to say earlier, I counted a total of only 5 deaths throughout this, and I can explain each death. And most of the deaths, the only deaths that I counted were at the beginning, and then I know there's 2 in the final egg, but that's when we get there. So the rest of Twinkle Park here, as you can see, is gonna be pretty much a breeze. There's not a single death here besides the Twinkle Circuit death, but I don't think I faced another death here. Like, I'm pretty sure it was pretty easy to get past this. Like, I was gonna do the bowling mini game and I accidentally got a strike. The thing is, when I'm trying to get a strike, I never get a strike here, but when I wasn't trying to get a strike, I actually got a strike. You have no reason to deal with those things. And this isn't about being fast, it's just more so about proving that the game is good and that you just have to have the proper momentum. And I got a strike again, didn't mean to do that. Never do that in the real game when I'm actually trying to do it. Skip past this section here. Just skip the checkpoint again, being arrogant, but it's whatever because I don't really need it in the first place. Sonic actually doesn't have to go through that door. That's for Amy to go through that door. I think, yeah, Sonic and Amy are the only 2 people who actually come here. No one else goes to Twinkle Park, which is... Oh, no, Big comes here, too. Big, Amy, and Sonic come to Twinkle Park, and they're the only ones. But other than that, so yeah, Knuckles, Tails, and Gamma do not come here, which is actually kind of sad because I would have loved to see what Gamma's version of the stage would have looked like. But I mean, all of the stages just kind of built, they all just kind of build it for Sonic, and just you maneuver around it differently depending on what character you know. And yeah, I am talking about third-party stuff here, but that's just because I'm trying to fill time in between the levels, because like I said, not a lot goes on here. I mean, besides me just beating the level. Other than that, nothing really too big here. You just go follow the rings right here, and we're pretty much at the end of the level. Also, did you know the Lightspeed Dash can press the switches for you, which is actually extremely cool. So if you need to know that, you can. You know it now that the Lightspeed Dash can press the switches for you. You know, you hit the things, and here we go at the end of the stage. Very simple, very easy. Twinkle Park, no problem. Twinkle Circuit is where you probably, I'd say for Twinkle Park, Twinkle Circuit is where you might have a death or two. But other than that, everything else is easy. And the camera glitched here, but it doesn't matter because we're on the speed highway. And yeah, Speed Highway here is obviously, now I remember Lamotou saying this was his favorite stage in the game, and yeah, it is a lot of people. I'd say it's probably the most, besides this and Emerald Coast are probably tied as the most iconic Sonic Adventure 1 stage, because everyone always talks about those two, while personally Lost World is my favorite. Well, Sonic's Lost World, you know, this is Lamotou's favorite, and that's all cool. And I guess it would be your favorite considering it's probably the stage where you can get the most momentum out of your character, because a lot of the rest of the stages do tend to incorporate some type of gimmicks, I guess you can say. But I'd say like Emerald Coast and Speed Highway are really just about Sonic's speed, which is actually cool. I mean, it's called Speed Highway, you're supposed to be fast on it, so you know, there we go. So yeah, this stage is another one of those easy stages here, but as you're gonna see here in a bit, if we go right here, as you're gonna see, I do fall off here almost when we get up a little bit, and I thought it was gonna lead to a death. It didn't here because I wanted to play around. See, I turned my controller to the side by accident, and I fell off, but that was not a death, so we're not worried about it. But yes, I did fall off. We continue to go here, and like I said, Speed Highway you will not really have any problems about. So I do understand why this is his favorite stage of them all. Also, I love how the helicopter things are like PlayStation 1 design, or the helicopter in general is just like a PlayStation 1. I just spin dash through there. You don't have to. No big deal. I just did it just to do it. Again, another speed section. Very fun. Very fun. Some of the funnest parts of this game, and some of the reason I always just I can just replay these stages infinitely. You go down here, you know what I'm saying, no big deal, just automatically go this way. You see, I'm having no problems here in Speed Highway, which again, Lamotou, to Lamotou's credit, he did say that this was his favorite stage. And I am sorry if you do hear any background noise, but can't control it, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, like I said, right here, this is an automated section. No reason to complain here again either. It's extremely easy. Just time your jumps just perfectly, and you won't hit anything. You'll be completely fine. I'd say it's about memorization, but not really, because you can get the view distance here is really good to where you have enough time to move out of the way. So any hits, I think there are your fault and not the game's fault, because you do have enough area distance to be able to see. Got hit there, my fault again. Fell off this wall. No, I didn't fall off this wall. It's not this wall. You can, here at the end of a Speed Highway, you can take a huge shortcut everywhere. I didn't do that this time because I fell off and I was an idiot and I forgot where to go. So I didn't take the huge shortcut that you can take. But yeah, you can take a huge shortcut at the ending part of this, and I do fall off the wall here. Again, my fault, not because of the game. The momentum, my momentum could have carried me, but I, with my stupid controller, decided to go off to the side. So yeah, I lost all my momentum, and that was all my problem. No big deal. I got stuck on the sign there again, my fault. But yeah, you go up here, you hop on the animal box, and Speed Highway is complete. So there we go with Speed Highway, and it should cut right here to Casinopolis, the very beginning. And yeah, I decided to do it. I went to Casinopolis and I was like, okay, well, you know what? Let's get it done, and I can do it. And now Speedopolis is probably going to be the longest stage we do deal with here, but again, not long at all. Just long enough to be pretty, like I said, the original time I had for this was going to be in under 30 minutes, but after doing some research, watching some YouTube videos, calculating the time, and overall just from memory, I decided, you know what, no, that's not going to be possible, because not only I was going to originally have to cut out Casinopolis because of the time constraint, because it was originally going to be 30 minutes, but then I realized there's no possible way. Some of these later stages like Casinopolis, Lost World, and Final Egg can be kind of long, so you kind of have to you kind of just have to compensate for that. So 30 minutes would have never been possible. Although, like I said, the hour time limit that I did give myself was possible, and I'm happy I did that. And here we go. I landed in the sewer here from the Knights pinball game. I messed up, but it was sort of, I didn't want to stay in the pinball game for too long anyway. I wanted to keep you guys entertained, so I tried my hardest to, hurry up and get past the pinball game for you guys, because I didn't want to be there for too long, because it would have just been boring if I was just sitting in the pinball game the whole time. And I do collect a bunch of rings here without getting hit. In fact, I actually beat, this is one of the fastest, this time actually is one of the fastest times I've ever beat Casinopolis. Also, I intentionally slow down here because I want to get as many of these as I can. Like I said, I was originally going to try and go for getting the max ring, because if you don't know, to beat this stage you have to get a certain amount of rings to fill up the room with the rings and make it so you can get to the Chaos Emerald. And that's very easy. You just gotta not get hit, and they did place a lot of traps here, but that's whatever, you know what I'm saying. I just wanted to be careful, and I went for that, and I got it luckily. So I was careful there because I didn't want to lose that, and I did get 10 more rings, and I managed to walk out of here with about 150 something rings. So it was a good deal. Yeah, 156 rings I get out of the sewer with, and I grabbed one here. I was originally going to grab all of them in the showers, and I was even going to show a little joke scene where Sonic takes a shower, but I didn't have time for that, and I just wanted to keep on going with, I was going to get those boxes, but I said, you know what, no. So going in here, hold on. So I go in here to empty out my rings really quick. I was gonna hold on to them, but I said, you know what, that's a bit too risky for me. And I was like, okay, well here's what we do. You have enough rings when it places you back here in front of this thing. So yeah, speedrunners can actually glitch and get up there without having to get the rings. I've seen them do it multiple times, but it is a little annoying, and if you don't know what you're doing, can be a little annoying. And I've never attempted it before, so it wasn't worth me attempting now. So yeah, we get into, the normal Casinopolis pinball, and also, let me tell you something, I love the Casinopolis pinball theme. I love it so much. It's one of my favorites, and I have this song. I also have the normal Casinopolis song on my phone too, but the pinball, man, the pinball is just, oh man, this stage is so good. And I was hoping to get as much as I could here, because I wanted to automatically skip going back to the sewer, and I just wanted to automatically get enough rings inside of here. So I do end up doing that. So yeah, no big deal here. We just play pinball, get the rings, and this, like I said, is gonna be the slowest stage in the game, period. After this, it's all like speed, but Casinopolis is the slowest stage in the game. And don't get me wrong, I like this stage. I think the idea was cool, but it is a little bit annoying when you're just trying to, like speedrunners hate this stage, I've seen, but they, like I said, most of them have figured out how to skip it and get up there without even having to get enough rings, or getting just a little bit, just getting enough rings just to where they can barely make it. And for me, I don't know that tactic yet. I haven't practiced. I do want to practice and learn that one day, and I am going to try. But like I said, see, if you're fast, you can get enough rings here. I'm already at 125 rings here, and with me continuously getting jackpots on the board, it was actually very helpful here. So I'm already, like I said, making good time here, and that's why I was like, okay, well maybe Casinopolis is possible, because I'm like, well, if I'm quick, I can do what I have to do. And I was like, okay, we can do this. And so here we are, and hold on, go up here. I think I do get another jackpot here, and Tails is actually the best jackpot because he covers up the fall zone, which is actually extremely good. I do get another jackpot there, but I don't get the rings from that. I pretty much learned how to always get a jackpot, and I always thought this little part right here was cool, because it's almost like it goes into a bit of a platformer for a second, but then it goes right back to a normal pinball game. So whatever. And we're almost out. I know what you're thinking, but we're almost out of the pinball machine here. I'm almost out of nowhere. I get a huge burst of rings that can get me right to 200 and something, and right to enough to go ahead and just call this section quits. And it should be coming pretty soon. I think I get one more jackpot is the thing that gets me as much rings as I need to go ahead and beat this, but I'm not too sure. Oh, here we go. I'll fall down here. There we go. Right there is where I got the most rings, and at that point I was like, okay, there we go. I get ready to fall here. I do try to finish up by getting one more jackpot, and I do get that. So there you go. There you go. Bunch more rings, and that was the end for me, because I said, okay, I should have enough. And so from this point on, it's pretty much just little recreational until I just randomly die and fall off again, which is, you don't die falling out the pinball machine, but it'll automatically when I do fall out, it automatically teleports me back to where I needed to be. And I don't think I hit myself here. Yeah, I let myself fall. So here you go. It teleports me back because I have enough rings now, 292, which is probably, like I said, this is probably the fastest I've ever personally beat Casinopolis, because Casinopolis can take you like 10 minutes if you're really too slow. And I'm not making a joke about Sonic. You have to be really slow for Casinopolis to you know, mess you up. But there we go. Casinopolis is done, and we move on to another action stage, and we're finally back into the action. Okay, folks. So here we go. Red Mountain, and this is another. At the beginning, Red Mountain can be a little slow at the beginning, but towards the end, it's a speed stage through and through. It's more of a. This is more of a platform heavy stage, I guess you could say. So you make of that what you will. But other than that, there's no problems here. I think Red Mountain, the beginning of Red Mountain is a very open stage, because like Knuckles goes all around this stage and Sonic does too, so it's actually, that's why it's a little bit more open. I feel like Red Mountain was a stage that was designed for Knuckles before Sonic, and then they were like, okay, well, we can have Sonic go here. And also, I do want to say, I did not include any of the sub games in this. So I didn't include like Sky Chase 1 or 2, because you can do those after, but I did not include them because they were not worth my time. Like I said, they weren't there, and there's no need. I was only doing action stages, and I only do Sonic stages, because I think once I move on and I hear Lamotou complaining about other people's stages, I'll make more videos on this. So if he wants to complain about Tails, I'll make another video on Tails when he finally gets done with Sonic Let's Play. Although all those videos should be a long while off, because with Lamotou's schedule, the man barely uploads once per year. Okay, so you know, it'll be a while before we see the next episode. Not to mention he has the Pokemon Let's Play, so he almost never uploads. He's probably not going to upload Sonic Adventure that often, but when he does finally finish Sonic's story and he moves on to Tails, well, then that's when we'll go ahead and say, well, hey, yes, you're wrong about Sonic. You're wrong about Tails' story as well. But here we go. We're almost to the part where we're in the volcano in Red Mountain. Red Mountain, like I said, is not a challenge. And yes, you're supposed to use those ladders to climb on, but I skip it because, like I said, I've been skipping it for so long, and you don't need to do that at all. Hop in, and we're inside the mountain. So here we go. From this point on, it's pretty much just a speed stage. You go up here, and I do think there is a death here at Red Mountain, if I'm correct. There is one death here at Red Mountain, which would make 3. I want to say it would make 3. If there is a death here at Red Mountain, it will make 3. Maybe I don't die. Maybe I don't die, because I was also playing Red Mountain like last night. So yeah, I might be thinking about that. So oh no, last time I was playing Red Mountain was with my last video, the Sega Slayer Complains video. So that's why I was playing Red Mountain then, and I was complaining then about the Xbox. But no, I don't think there might not be a death here, but there might be. I think there is, but I'm not sure. Can't really remember. So far, I think we're on 2 deaths. It might be 3. If it's 3, I'll go back and look and put a 3 on screen here, but I don't think it's 3. I think it's just 2. It's definitely probably 2. So yeah, we're almost here. We're almost at the end here of Red Mountain, and you know, like I said, another pretty much uneventful stage. Now, when we get to the next stage, which is actually Sky Deck, something funny actually happens there, because I could not remember. Because if you don't know, I'm already done with Sonic's story, and this was done on a complete Sonic profile. Now, not a complete profile, because this is the same profile we've been live streaming on. So I still have to beat Gamma's story and Big's story. But Amy's story, Knuckles' story, Tails' story, and Sonic's story is already completely done. So yeah, so this is not a complete profile, but it's pretty close, and I wanted to say that so you know that that's why. But it took me a while because the egg carrier is already crashed in this, and I had to figure out how to get into the egg carrier and get into the Sky Deck, which took me a good 5 minutes, which I'm happy I cut all out of this. Hopefully it's all cut out of this. If it's not, it will be removed when you see the rest. When you see the video itself, they will be cut out. Yeah, but we cut straight to Sky Deck here. So Sky Deck, there is a death here. I can confirm Sky Deck does have a death, and Sky Deck is one of these stages, right, where I can say some complaints that I know are going to be here are valid, because this stage is probably out of all the stages, Skydeck is the one stage I will give you a pass on, because this stage itself is probably my least favorite stage in this game. Like, Skydeck, while it's like guys like Cyber Shell and things like that give Skydeck, I think, an unnecessarily hard time, Skydeck does suck. Skydeck is, and I got stuck here, and that can happen sometimes, but no big deal. Skydeck is one of those stages that just, oh my god, it's just bad. Oh, and if you want proof that there were no deaths in between, just pay attention to my life counter the whole time. You can see how many lives I had, and by the end of this I have like 32 lives. I do get a lot of lives, and I don't think lives actually reset in Sonic Adventure. So when I get back on, I think I'll still have that many lives, which is actually pretty cool. They might reset though, and if they do, you know, it doesn't really matter, but there you go. Just run through here, and yeah, this part right here is a little bit slow because yeah, it just is trying to get down from here. And this is another part that any complaints that come off of this part right here are completely valid. I don't argue with them at all. Skydeck is, like I said, in personal opinion, Skydeck is probably definitely the worst stage in the game. Doesn't mean it's bad, just means it's the worst out of all of them. And it's an okay stage. It's not unbearable to play or anything, but it's annoying. Like this part right here, where you can get stuck backwards down the ladder, and Sonic will start going back down, but if you don't turn quickly, he will go down. Yeah, I always thought this part right here was weird, but it's just what happens. I don't know why if it's scripted like that, but it does. So, you know, you hop up and you go in here, and here I do over here with when I get next to the missile launcher, I do get hit here, which is kind of annoying, but it is what it is. Like I said, Skydeck, worst stage of them all. And I got a little oh no, maybe I don't die at Skydeck. Hold on. See, here I actually get hit, and that was almost a death, but I got saved by the platform. And that was almost a death, but I got caught on here. Almost another death, but I managed to make it, and there we go. I managed to make it over here, and so maybe I don't die in Skydeck. I thought I did, but who knows? You never really know. I was gonna go on the top path here. Oh no, I do go. Okay, I'm like, I thought I was gonna go on the top path, but I guess I didn't, and I managed to just miss the missile there and make it around, which, you know, was good. But yeah, like I said, Skydeck is one of those stages that I do think deserves the criticism it does tend to get nowadays, because yeah, this stage is definitely the worst out of everyone. Doesn't mean it's bad, just means it's the worst. Again, I'll keep reiterating that, so you know, does not mean the stage is bad, it just means that it is the worst out of all of these amazingly good stages. Which I guess you could say being the worst is the worst, but hey, it is the worst in my opinion. So here's the part that a lot of people get frustrated at. This part right here doesn't really frustrate me. I mean, I do have a couple moments here where I was upset. By this point, you know, I was starting to get annoyed at Skydeck, so I was getting, you know, you can see I'm playing, you might not be able to tell, but I start playing a little bit more aggressively here, and just like, see, when I got hit there, I was really upset, so I just kind of like tanked through it, and just was like, you know what, screw it, I want to get off this stage. So I spin dashed, and I got over here, and got up here, and didn't want to hit most of those enemies, but I still managed to. And I do think I fall off at this section here, right here, if I'm correct, on the little thing right here. Maybe, no, I do not. I don't fall off. Yeah, no, I don't fall off. Okay, so here's right here, I get stuck here. You can get stuck in this section, which can get kind of annoying a little bit, and I don't know what happened there, but hey, something happened, and you can get stuck in this section. So again, this is another one of those sections where criticism is completely valid, because hey, this part of the stage sucks because you have to quickly make it over before everything falls, and I got lucky there. I should have been dead. You have to quickly make it over before that spot falls apart. Here I get lucky and actually shoot the cannon first try, which was an accident. That does not usually happen, so don't get excited here, because that doesn't usually happen, and it probably will take you a couple minutes to do. It usually takes me a couple minutes to do, but I got lucky there. So yeah, I do fall off right here, and I was at this point pretty upset and worried because I don't have any rings, but there managed to be some right here. I managed to grab a couple of those, come back, kill this guy, and go on about my day. So yeah, this section right here, it is what it is. Skydeck, the last section of Skydeck, which is this, can get a little bit confusing. In fact, it is confusing in some cases, but hey, you should, now I always forget those things are actual robots and not enemies, and not like spikes, so I almost always get killed. Here you have to wait for the hook, so again, uncontrollable. You just have to wait. When it comes around, you grab one and you're going about your day. But yeah, this stage right here is pretty annoying. Here I get trapped under the sliding platform here because I was an idiot and accidentally hopped down and fell into one. And see, I fell and I got stuck here. not a death, but it is kind of annoying because it can hold you up a little bit. So at this point, I hurry up and ran to catch it over here and catch that one so I could just, quickly get on this side. Hop here, almost fell off. Would have been upset if I did, but luckily I managed to glitch over here in the right section, which saved me. So yeah, I actually spin dash here, and you're not supposed to do that, but I did anyway, and so I got lucky and managed to hold on. You were actually supposed to platform your way all the way over here, but hey, that was a headache, and I didn't want to do it, so I saved time by spin dashing. Something I don't recommend you do unless you know that you can absolutely make it, because in this point I wasn't arrogant anymore, and I was like, you know what, no, I'm not redoing this, let me just hit the checkpoint, and I didn't want unnecessary death. So at this point, I do recommend just being careful. Another one of these sections right here where it's like you have to go down. Now this section can be a little bit faster if you do know what you're doing, and I've seen people do it perfectly, but as me, it takes me a little bit of time to get down here. But once you're down here, whatever. You hit the switch, the whole ship turns, and there you go. You fall into the hole, and there you go. You run down a little bit, and here we go. Come on, Bob's your uncle. It's the end of the stage. You press. It would have been a chaoser mode here, but not in this game. So you just go ahead and you press the little thing down to get the animals, and we teleport to my favorite stage in the game, Lost World. Now here we go. This is my expertise right here. This stage right here is my particular favorite. And especially this beginning part right here, just because I always thought it looked so cool running down these little tunnels. And I actually ran on the ceiling there, which looked really cool in my opinion. So that was something that just looked cool to me, and I love Lost World. The beginning part here is straightforward enough. This part right here, those explosions, while real, they take a while to kill you, so you can pretty much dodge them with no problem. And also, I'm going to let you know something here, okay? If it looks like I'm playing slow at the very beginning part and playing weird at the very beginning part of Lost World, I'm going to explain to you right now. So it was early in the morning when I was recording this. I was hungry, so I was trying to eat while playing the stage. So right here, I actually go AFK for a second, and I wanted to be careful here because I'm like, okay, I'm losing time, but I'm so hungry. Let me just take a bite of my food, and so I did. And so obviously that's why I went AFK. But here we go. I'll move here in a second. So I wasn't gonna make a lie about how my controller stopped working. No, my controller didn't stop working. See here, you can see I'm playing dumb because I'm trying to eat while doing it, and I'm just like, okay, Second Slayer, eat something, play, eat, play. And the best part is I tried to wait to eat when I got right here because I figured, okay, all I have to do is press the switches and wait for the snake. So if I act like the snake hasn't come around yet, I can take some more bites of my food, and I'm like, okay, we can get this done. So here you see I'm playing weird because I'm trying to do it. I'm just trying to take a tiny little bite so I can just continue on and beat this section. And I mean, you can make of how my play skills here, like right here. I promise you, I'm sitting here eating right now, and then I see the snake head come around, and I'm just like, oh, drag on, and I have to go and play again. And yeah, these are all things that actually happen. And so I hop off here, try to make the jump, get hit, and I was like, okay, well now I'm a bit scared, still trying to eat while doing this, and that's why Sonic keeps glitching over. And I'm like, okay, well we'll just wait normally this time. I was gonna get that life, but it wasn't important enough for me to care, so I just hop off here, raise the water level. Clearly, oh no, I didn't raise the water level because I knew I wasn't supposed to be there, so I said no, leave that alone. So I hop on there, get that switch over here. Now, a fun fact, right? You're supposed to hop on there, get that switch, right? Go over here and raise the water, right? And then get back on the snake. You can actually glitch your way over here, and I do it. So if the snake is coming, you can always get right over here to the red switch, press it before. There's a lot of ways to cheese your way over to the red switch. You can just spin dash from the other platform and hop over here, and it works perfectly. And at this point, still trying to eat. In fact, it's even worse because I've took a couple bites, and now I don't want to stop because I'm hungry, and it's early in the morning, and I'm like, oh man, let me just go ahead and get this done. In case you're wondering, yep, it was pizza. Okay, so I'm like, okay. Here's another section where I was like, oh, I really want to eat. I really want to take a bite. So I try to do it right here, but it almost messes me up. So I say, you know, forget it. And at this point, I'm almost done. And also, I made a little joker right here, and you can see I use the lights as a way for me to eat. So while I'm playing with the light, I'm actually not paying attention to the game. So whenever I get on a switch like this, like I'm gonna show you. Here, I am eating right now. I promise you that I'm eating right now. Whenever I mess with the lights, you can guarantee that I'm eating, because the way I move around with them is not right. And the thing is, right, I always have terrible luck trying to get these things lit up, but on the day I was trying to eat, don't you know, I get them all lit up perfectly the first try, besides this one, because I wasn't trying to eat it, that section. And every other one I get lit up perfectly on the first try, because I was trying to have them take forever. Here I got this one pretty easily too, because I was starting to eat the last bite here, and I think here around this section right here with this last one is where I finally just hurry up and eat the final piece of it. And I was like, okay, well, there we go, let's get back into the level. And see, yeah, you can tell, because I was actually trying to get it to work there, and it didn't want to work with all the other times it worked perfectly. So here we go, I'm here, and I do the light speed dash. Now, I took one of those rings by accident. I was scared it wasn't going to work, but it managed to work. And so I get down here with the slide, and I love, like, I'd say up to the last section, Lost World is my favorite stage of all time. This section right here is my favorite stage of all time. It's just all so fun and enjoyable here. Now, I'm still eating here, still eating, and right here where you can see I kind of like stopped and hesitated for a second, that was when I finished. So now I'm back into the game, I'm fully ready, and that section was right there was when I finished, so I'm done at this point. So here we go, I fall down, and this is a really cool set piece, but you can also say, well, it's just a remake of the ice cap set piece, but I think it's really cool in Lost World. It's something you would expect to see out of this. See, here's where I finish up here, because I went AFK, I finished up, and there we go. Now I'm on with the last part, because I had to be ready here in this last part, and I hate this last part of the stage. It's actually kind of slow, but the thing is, it did not give me any trouble today, so I was happy about that. And we're almost done here, actually. I think, let's see, it's just Lost World, and then, yeah, Final Egg. So Final Egg is the final stage after this one, so we're almost done here in a second. But, yeah, Lost World can be annoying, but it is my favorite stage in the game personally for its music and beautiful set piece. I just think I love the set piece and like the old aesthetic design that it has to it, like ancient tribe design that we always just associate mysteries with ancient tribes, and I always thought that was cool and found that a little bit interesting. So I find that interesting here, and I love Lost World and how it was their ancient tribe. And I guess this this is the pyramid that's in the middle of where their little town used to be, so it's actually cool to explore it and to see they had all these traps here. And usually I fall off on this part coming up right here is where I usually fall off, but I didn't do it today, which was lucky for me. And I was like, okay, as long as I don't get hit, we're here. And I didn't get hit, and we made it through perfectly, which was just a happy moment for me. Fall down here in the box, run through here, don't get hit, hop down here, press the switch, the light speed dash presses it for you. Do the light speed dash, which I can fall off and have done it before. Didn't fall off though, got lucky here at the end. I never actually got to explore this temple, because when you come here for the first time, you go through the door and you immediately won, but this time you can actually explore it with the help of the little capsule you have to press. I explore it really quick, and there you go. That's the end of that. So that's good to know that I'm done with that, and that we don't have to worry about that anymore. So yeah, Final Egg, here we go, the final stage, and we're getting ready to wrap this video up. We're almost done, in fact. Just had to finish up this stage and we're finished. So at this point, I was pretty confident we were going to be making good time here, and I still think we are making good time here, and we still are making a really good time here. As long as the video is under 60 minutes, I'd say under 60 minutes we're good, and the challenge is a success. But even if it's not, the challenge is still pretty much a success, because I've done every stage perfectly. Now there is 2 deaths here on the final stage, but it's at the very end and insignificant, so we don't talk about it yet. But yeah, they are coming, and they will be here shortly. But yeah, I'll make it through this section. At this point, my confidence had been reassured. At this point, I was getting a little scared, because I noticed that maybe the pausing wasn't working, but yeah, it was. It just didn't work for the very first one, but that's okay. So yeah, here we go. I stopped there for whatever reason. Continue to go and run really quickly around this little circle here, and we make it out. And here we go. Run all the way through. And yeah, so we get to the ending part here, and I do want to say this really quick, because we're getting close to the end of the voiceover, and I better start ending this video while I have it, and then we'll talk about the rest of it. Yeah, so yeah, Lamotou, this challenge was pretty much a success. It is a success. So I expect you in the next episode of the Sonic Adventure Let's Play to admit that you were wrong about the game and that the game is actually good. Well, the gameplay, at least admit that the gameplay is good. Sonic's gameplay, at least you have to admit, is good, and that it is not the game. The game is not designed bad. You are just bad at it, because I'm just telling the truth, man. You were like, I don't know what you were doing, but the game itself isn't bad design. And if you want to contest this and say, hey, the Dreamcast version, I'll gladly do that too, just to prove to you that, hey, again, it is you who failed, not the game. See, like, this section right here is actually very easy, and there is the actual one of these deaths that are coming up is going to be an intentional death, but you'll see soon enough. So we rise up here, you see we go here, and yeah, also really want to quickly say thank you all for checking out this video. If you're new here, if you could subscribe, that would be really awesome. We're trying to reach 300 subscribers and you'd be helping us out a lot. Make sure to share this video with your friends to become a Super Slayer. Yeah, we'll say that now, so that way I can go ahead and when it comes close to the edge of this video, I can go ahead and just get ready to end it. But yeah, I mean, well, maybe I'll make a little quick bonus part showing you just me saying ending it real quick. But yeah, there you go. There's the challenge. I mean, for the most part, like I said, we're almost done. The level is not done, but we're almost there. I knew I was going to be able to do this. I knew, because this is so easily possible. Like, it's the game. The stages are good. They're designed well. You just need to be good at them to keep up your momentum and keep going. So all those glitches and things that happened to Lamotou was of his doing and not the game, and that was what really kind of upset me about the video. He said the game was badly and poorly designed. Now what I do here is an actual intentional death, because see that little robot thing? It takes forever for that to open, right? So you can go down here and kill yourself intentionally, right? And then what'll happen is it'll bring you back down here normally, and that's just a little speedrunner's glitch for you right there. So at this point we have 4 deaths, and one of them is intentional. So if you want to be honest, we have 3 deaths, because you can skip the loading zone right there, which is actually a neat trick if you want to save some time. But you're not a speedrunner, so you don't really need to save the time. You can actually just hop in there. But I needed to save the time, even though this isn't a speedrun. I still wanted to save that time, so I hopped down there, and that was why I killed myself there, because I knew I could take it. Now the next death here is not intentional, but it happens from time to time on these stupid fans, which I do hate. So I always hated this section right here. And see, there you go, that was not an intentional death, it was an accident. It was my fault. That was a my fault death, because I flicked my stick to the left, but that was not an intentional death. It was my fault, but I did not intentionally hop down there to do anything like that. I intentionally did that there, and I just wanted that life there, but Tails ended up getting it for me, which was, I was kind of happy because I wanted my life back. These things, don't play around with them. You can kill them all, but there's really no real reason for you to do such a thing, and they kind of do start a chain reaction anyway for blowing up one of them. So, you know, do it if you want to do it, but it's not necessary. So here we're getting close to the edge of stage. Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and call this challenge a win for me personally. I've done it. I've managed to complete the stages without any problem here. The victory goes to me, Lamotou. I can guarantee you there's nothing else that goes wrong here, so I'm gonna continue to let this play. But yeah, everything here is perfect. I won the challenge. I continued to beat the challenge, and you know, while it was not easy, well, it was pretty much easy. I'm lying. I was gonna say it wasn't easy, but no, I'm lying. It is extremely easy. This game is extremely easy and fun. You just need to know what you're doing. You will not have any problems, Lamotou. So from here on out, I would like to see a little bit more respect towards the gameplay, at least, instead of use. Now you can say that, like I said, you can say the story sucks, but the gameplay is so good in this game. Anytime you die, it's 99% your fault. Again, my fault right there. Another death right there. That would be the 5th death, and that was my fault. My fault completely. No one else's fault but mine, not the game's. So yeah, I don't want to hear you saying your death is the fault of the game, because anytime you die, I almost died there, but I said no. Anytime you die, it's almost always your fault. Now there are certain deaths that can occur because of the game, but it's very rare for those to happen. And 9 times out of 10, it's going to be your fault. Okay, so I don't want to hear any more complaining saying that the gameplay is bad in the game, because the gameplay is not bad as far as like it being unfair or poorly designed. It is designed perfectly. You are just bad at it, sir. That being said, though, like I said, if you're new here, if you could subscribe, that'd be really awesome. We're trying to reach 300 subscribers, and you've been helping us out a lot. Make sure to share this video with your friends to become a Super Slayer. Yeah, and, I've been the world's coolest Sega enthusiast, Sega Slayer 64. And until next time, have a good one, Slayers. And just to let you know, again, I almost died right here really quick, but just to let you know, again, Lamotou to you, everything that happens to you in this game from here on out is your fault, and I would love to see you congratulate me in your next video and admit you were wrong. But until next time, have a good one, Slayers.